All right, today we're tackling a really big idea in market research, something called the integrated advantage. And we're not just going to talk theory. We're going to look at how a company called MFour actually puts this whole thing into practice. Okay, so let's just get right into it. If you've ever worked in marketing or research, does this sound familiar? You just want to know what your customers are thinking, but why is it always so complicated? Why does it feel like such a struggle to get a straight answer?
Well, it's because for most people, the whole thing is a mess. It's like trying to put together a puzzle, but half the pieces are missing, and the ones you do have don't fit together. You've got data over here in one bucket, timelines stretching out forever over there, and you're trying to manage like a dozen different tools that won't even talk to each other? At the end of the day, you're left with this frustratingly incomplete picture of who your customer actually is.
And that right there, that's the core problem we're digging into. We're calling it the fragmented research puzzle. You see, for so long, the industry standard has been this patchwork approach, right? Grabbing all these so-called best-in-class tools. But honestly, a lot of the time, that just makes things even more complicated. So this really boils down to a huge choice. Do you go for best-in-class or best-in-one? I love this analogy. Think about building a car. You could go out and buy the best engine from Germany, the best tires from France, the best electronics from Japan, and try to bolt it all together yourself. Or you could buy a car where everything was designed, engineered, and built under one roof to work in perfect harmony. I mean, which car is going to give you a smoother ride? It's kind of a no-brainer, right? And that's exactly the philosophy behind the best-in-one solution. This is where a company like MFour comes in and says, hey, let's stop trying to patch things together. They've built a completely different model, one that's designed from day one to be totally unified. So what's the bedrock of this whole thing? It's a powerful concept called vertical integration. Here's the key. MFour actually owns its own massive group of research participants, their mobile panel, through their app, Surveys on the Go. And that, right there, is the secret sauce. It means they can connect what people say they do, their opinions in surveys, with what they actually do in the real world, all on one platform. It's a complete game changer. Okay, so what does this look like day to day? Well, first, it all starts with that panel of real people using the app. Then, the tech in the background is capturing what they call omni-traffic data. Basically, where people go, what apps they use, that kind of thing. But here's where the magic happens. Based on that real-world behavior, they can instantly send a survey. You just walked out of a Target. Boom, here's a survey asking why you chose it over Walmart. And all of this information, the behavior and the why, flows right into a single dashboard. It's just clean, simple, end to end.
All right, that's the theory. But how does this integrated model really hold up against the competition? Let's start by looking at the big software platforms. The tools that a lot of us use every single day.
Think about Qualtrics. It's an amazing piece of software, no doubt. But you still have to go out and find people to take your survey. MFour has the people. Then you've got Zappy or Morning Consult. They're fantastic for specific things like testing an ad, but they're not the whole package. And SPSS, that's just for crunching numbers after you've already done all the hard work of collecting data. You're seeing the pattern here, right? They're all missing that one critical piece, their own source of real people. Okay, but what about the companies that are all about data? The ones who track what people do? Let's talk about them, because this is where we get to the really big difference. Tracking what people do is one thing, but understanding why they do it, that's the holy grail. And this slide just says it all, doesn't it? Your typical data company? Yeah, they know a consumer went to a store. They can see the GPS dot on a map. Big deal. But MFour, because they have that direct connection through the app, they know where someone went, and in that exact moment, they can ask them why. That is a massive, massive difference. I mean, think about it. This gives them a huge leg up on location data companies like Foursquare. Foursquare sees the what, but they can't ask the why. It gives you a much richer story than digital tools like SimilarWeb, because they have no idea what you're doing in a physical store. And maybe most importantly, unlike the data aggregators that stitch together data from a bunch of different questionable sources, creating this kind of black box, MFour's single source of truth is just clean. It's trustworthy. All right, last group. Let's talk about the big guys, the household names in market research. You know who I'm talking about. They've been around forever, they're huge, but in today's world, they have a massive weak spot. They are slow. And I mean, just look at this number. This tells the whole story. The old school fragmented approach, you're lucky if you get your answers in 2 weeks. 2 weeks! An integrated modern platform can get you those same insights in a single day, sometimes even hours. In the world we live in now, That's not just an advantage, that's everything. So what's happening here? Well, even the big panel providers can end up with professional survey takers who just click through for the money, which hurts your data quality. M4's model is built on real, validated people. And then you have the legacy giants, Nielsen, Kantar, Ipsos. Their whole system is just slower, more expensive, and clunkier. This new, single-source model is built for one thing: speed. It's designed for the kinds of real-time decisions that businesses have to make every single day.
Okay, so we've looked at all the different players. Let's bring it all back home. What does this best-in-one approach actually give you? Well, it's that thing we've been talking about this whole time, your unbeatable integrated advantage. And it really comes down to these three things, the core trio. Number one, vertical integration. That means one platform, one panel, one single source of truth. You can trust the data. Number two, you get real behavior linked to the why. You finally understand not just what people are doing, but the motivation behind it. And number three, end-to-end speed. You can finally move as fast as your customers do, not as slow as your research vendor. You know, there's a quote that just perfectly sums this all up. It says, "The ability to instantly survey a consumer who just left a specific store is a direct and powerful competitive advantage." Think about that. That's not just a cool piece of tech. That is a weapon you can use in the market. So let's just leave you with this one last question to think about. See, choosing how you get your consumer insights, that's not just a back office technical decision anymore. It is a core strategic choice. So you have to ask yourself, when your competitors are already moving at the speed of the consumer, getting answers in a day, can you really, truly afford to be the one left waiting?